Kain wird vergöttert. Die Clans erzählen sich Legenden über ihn. Nur wenige kennen die Wahrheit. Einst war er sterblich, wie wir alle. Ich bin Raziel, der Erstgeborene unter seinen Statthaltern. 1000 Jahre lang habe ich Kain gedient. Ich stand bei ihm und meinen Brüdern, als das Reich entstand. Die Gabe entwickelte sich beständig weiter. Wir wurden immer weniger menschlich und immer mehr Göttern gleich. Stets wurde Kain als erster vom Zustand der Änderung erfasst und ging gestärkt aus ihm hervor. Einige Jahre nach dem Gebieter folgte dann unsere Weiterentwicklung. Bis ich die Ehre hatte, meinen Gebieter zu übertreffen. Für meinen Verstoß wurde mir eine neue Art der Belohnung zuteil. Todesqual. Es gab nur ein mögliches Ende, meine ewige Verdammung. Ich, Raziel, sollte das Schicksal von Verrätern und Schwächlingen teilen, im See der Toten ewig brennende Agonie zu erleiden.
Werft ihn hinein!
Brennend, mit weißglühendem Feuerschweif, stürzte ich den Tiefen des Abgrunds entgegen. Entsetzliche Schmerzen, erbarmungslose Todesqualen. Die Zeit hörte auf zu existieren. Nur noch diese Qualen. Und ein immer tieferer Hass auf die Heuchelei, die mich zu dieser Hölle verdammt hatte. Eine Ewigkeit verging. Die furchtbaren Schmerzen ließen nach. Und ich taumelte vom Rand des Wahnsinns zurück. Der Sturz hatte mich vernichtet. Und doch war ich am Leben.
Raziel, du bist für mich.
Endlich. Ich muss sagen, dass ich von deinem Vorwärtskommen enttäuscht bin. Ich hatte dich eher hier erwartet. Sag, hattest du ein Problem damit, deine Brüder umzubringen?
Hattest du ein Problem damit, mich in den Abgrund werfen zu lassen?
Die Ewigkeit ist grausam, Raziel. Als ich Jahrhunderte zuvor erstmals in diese Kammer schlich, hatte ich die wahre Macht des Wissens noch nicht ergründet. Die Zukunft zu kennen, Raziel. Zu sehen, wie sich ihre Wege und Strömungen ins Unendliche hinziehen. Als Mensch hätte ich diese verbotenen Wahrheiten niemals kennengelernt. Aber jeder von uns ist so viel mehr, als wir einst waren. Spürst du nicht mit deiner ganzen Seele, wie wir göttergleich geworden sind? Und sind wir als solche nicht unzertrennlich, solange ein einziger von uns noch steht? Sind wir unschlagbar. Unsere Zukunft ist vorherbestimmt. Möbius hat meine Entwicklung bereits vor Äonen vorausgesagt. Wir spielen beide die Rolle, die das Schicksal für uns geschrieben hat. Entscheidungsfreiheit ist eine Illusion.
Ich habe die Grabkammer der Sarafan gefunden, Kain. Wie konntest du nur einen Priester entweihen, indem du ihn in einen Vampir verwandelt hast?
Warum sollte ich nicht? Man muss sich um seine Freunde kümmern, Raziel. Und noch mehr um seine Feinde. Wer könnte mir besser dienen als die, deren Leidenschaft die Begriffe Gut und Böse bei weitem übertrifft?
Die Sarafan waren Erlöser, die Nosgoth vor unserer Fäulnis verteidigten. Meine Augen sind geöffnet, Kain. Ich empfinde es nicht als edel, dass du dieses Unleben in meinen sich sträubenden Körper pflanztest.
Du magst deine Vergangenheit enthüllt haben, aber du weißt nichts darüber. Du denkst, die Sarafan wären edel, selbstlos? Sei nicht einfältig. Ihr Ziel war das gleiche wie unseres. Du hättest mich beinahe gehabt, Raziel. Aber dies ist nicht der Zeitpunkt oder der Ort für ein Ende. Das Schicksal verspricht weitere Verflechtungen, bevor dieses Drama sich komplett auflöst.
Erlöser und Zerstörer, Bauer und Messias. Willkommen, zeitumspannende Seele. Willkommen zu deiner Berufung.
You nearly had me, Raziel. Do what you have to do. I know you're there, Raziel.
These were the pillars so familiar to my blighted eyes.
Redeemer and Destroyer, Pawn and Messiah. Welcome, time span soul. Welcome to your destiny.
The making of Soul Reaver.
Soul Reaver. I feel an obligation to work out since I'm Soul Reaver. So when the time comes I really meet everybody, I'll be able to wear tight black outfits. And they won't feel so terribly disappointed to see that it's the 60-year-old cocker doing this voice. I had to go out and buy a PlayStation. They sent me Soul Reaver. Right. So I went up to buy PlayStation. Right. And we hooked it up in the house, and then I started it. Because I never played it, a game like this before. I played a game, period, other than, Knick Knock or that little Pac-Man or something. Right. And it's extraordinary. The opening is really extraordinary with the wings and the ripping and the throwing down of the abyss. And right. Now I'm getting into the labyrinth. 2 hours later, I still am nowhere. He keeps falling off the rock, and I can't work it to get him on the rock. And my daughter is sitting in the bed. She says, "Dad," I said, "leave me alone. I'm going to do this." She said, "But I can." I said, "Leave me alone." And 2 hours later, I look up, and I realize it's 2 hours has gone by, and it felt like I was there for 5 minutes. and I have gone no further. I wanted to get into the other things. I wanted to see, because I did several other voices, I wanted to get, couldn't do it. And I said, I can't do this. So when I went downstairs, I came back up, and I looked, and she's already well beyond me. And I said, so there's got to be a chip that the kids have in their heads that some of us don't have from another time in our existence.
Yeah.
This is a CD-ROM?
This is a video game for the PlayStation 2.
There's a lot of talk for a video game.
It's a story-based game.
Yeah. I'm so used to sort of doing 5 lines different. Go through that door! Don't go through that door! Hey, go through that door!
There's more to being a vampire than drinking blood and ripping out throbbing hearts. Trust me, doll.
The continuum of history is simply too strong, too resilient.
Good one.
It's a lot of chat, isn't it?
Indeed.
It's so great. Poor Simon, I go, and? He did what? And he goes into 3 pages.
Sitting down and taking a rest.
And it's so great. That is so fun.
So we're getting some pops on Parasite, poetic.
Poetic parasite. Wouldn't that be poetic irony? The biggest parasite of them all.
39,919.
You stay here. I'll go and warn the others. I'll go and warn the others.
Be gone! You are not welcome here!
One thing was just a little easier. 906.
Be gone. You are not welcome here.
Renee?
Yeah.
You'll be surprised. Amp up that accent just a little bit.
I thought it had disappeared a little beyond the pale.
Oh, let me out of the room.
License to kill. I
License, the scenery and me will go.
I fear you have been followed. You must save yourself, Raziel. Janos, no! Oh, that's your line.
But I like the way you did it.
How did I do it? Was it okay?
It was so good. That's the way I'm going to do it. George Burns. A Janos version of the Blade.
How many voices do you do?
Just one. I mesmerize you to think that it's more than that.
It's a hypnosis trick.
Yeah.
I'm under a spell right now.
He's the man of many voice.
The man of one voice and just think it's 1,000. That's all.
Embrace your destiny, Razia. You must reclaim the Reaver. It alone was forged for you, and you alone. Without it, there is no hope.
Good. Renee, you gave us an extra alone.
It alone was forged for you, you alone. But I liked it.
It alone was forged for you, and you alone, it was for you alone. I'm dying. Give me a break here.
Look at this black heart. How still it beats.
Or how it still beats would probably be better, wouldn't it?
That would help. And also look at his black heart rather than this. But otherwise, perfect. 10, 11, 3 in a row.
Look at his black heart. How still it beats.
I'm not going to be able to say it. We'll have to change the whole story.
I'm telling you.
Demon! He thinks he can change his destiny. What a fool!
What kind of demon is this?
Very creepy. Very creepy.
Like that? Big guy like that?
He thinks he can change his destiny. What a fool.
Let the next squad take him.
Let the next squad take him.
To arms! The unholy ones approach!
To arms! The unholy ones approach!
To arms! The unholy ones approach!
Wow.
The unholy ones approacheth. Let the next squad take him. The scourge is upon us. The stench of death is in the air. Oh, did you fart? compelled to touch it, to take it up. Please. Please don't take my line. Please, take my line. Please, take it away from me. Where's my unique resurrection? Give me a unique resurrection. First he takes my wings, and then he takes my unique resurrection. And the man has no pity. Stand your ground! It's quiet tonight. You know, you got the bluest eyes. We've been out here a long time without a female vampire hunter.
Let me enlighten you, poor Raziel.
Where were they?
What? What?
That's terrific.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll just go home now.
Go home and gargle and clean up those lungs.
Glad we did those at the end.
Ah, my wayward child returns.
Having unearthed more than you'd like, I suspect. What am I to make of these ruins that litter the land, and these images here in this chamber?
Merely the deceits of a failed civilization. You are being misled, Raziel. This ancient race hoped to manipulate the future with these scrawled misdirections. You must tread carefully. There are dark forces at work in this world, bent on subverting your true destiny.
I have no doubt of that. The question is, am I in their presence right now?
Your arrogance will spell your demise, Raziel. Deny my will, and the arc of your destiny will reach a sudden conclusion.
Your threats are unmoving. Even now, I'm beyond your reach.
My reach is longer than you realize. This is a very dangerous game you're playing, Raziel. Raziel, the failed assassin. You had Kain at your mercy, but lacked the courage to fulfill the act. And now you see the wasteland wrought by the tyrant's hand, by his selfish decision to preserve his own life, even when it meant sacrificing the whole world. This is the fate of Nosgoth, as long as Kain remains alive.
An ironic condemnation, given this guilty scene. One would think you'd torn down the pillars single-handedly. What are you trying to obliterate as you drag your loathsome body through this chamber? And why, as Nosgoth descends into madness and misery, do you appear to thrive? Things in this world, I am learning, are rarely what they seem. You, apparently, are no exception.
I am the engine of life, the source of Nosgoth's very existence. I am the hub of the wheel, the origin of all life, the devourer of death.
Or maybe you're just hungry. Could it be as simple as that? Wouldn't that be poetic irony? The great adversary of the vampires turns out to be the biggest parasite of them all.
Do not test my patience, Raziel. I made you, and I will unmake you if I become so inclined.
As your agent, I am beyond death.
There are fates worse than death, Raziel.
Oh, I see you now as you truly are. A cancer. A spooling parasite burrowed deep in the heart of this world.
Go now. Play out your pitiful rebellion and take your place among the destroyed, the used, and the damned. But know this, you are mine for eternity. You have always been, and will always be, my soul Reaver.
At last. I must say I'm disappointed in your progress. I imagined you'd be here sooner. Tell me, did it trouble you to murder your brothers?
Did it trouble you when you ordered me into the abyss?
Eternity is relentless, Raziel. When I first stole into this chamber centuries ago, I did not fathom the true power of knowledge. To know the future, Raziel, to see its paths and streams tracing out into the infinite. As a man, I could never have contained such forbidden truths. But each of us is so much more than we once were. Do you not feel with all your soul how we have become like gods? And as such, are we not indivisible? As long as a single one of us stands, we are legion. Our futures are predestined. Mobius foretold mine eons ago. We each play out the parts fate has written for us. Free will is an illusion.
I found the tomb of Sarafan, Kain. How could you profane a priest by turning him into a vampire?
How could I not? One must keep his friends close, Raziel, and his enemies even closer. Who better to serve me than those whose passion transcends all notions of good and evil?
The Sarafan were saviors, defending Nosgoth from the corruption that we represent. My eyes are opened, Kain. I find no nobility in the unlife you rudely forced on my unwilling corpse.
You may have uncovered your past, but you know nothing of it. You think the Sarafan were noble, altruistic? Oh, don't be simple. Their agenda was the same as ours. You nearly had me, Raziel. But this is not where or how it ends. Fate promises more twists before this drama unfolds completely.
Janus Audrin? It is heartening after all these years to hear my name spoken without contempt.
Raziel, my child, what have they done to you? I have been dragged through hell and back. All it seems to reach this moment. But I don't yet know why. For thousands of years, I have waited, alone, here, losing faith. At the time of the binding, 9 guardians were called to serve the pillars, and I was summoned as the 10th guardian, the keeper of the Reaver, the weapon of our salvation. Over time, our race died out, until I alone remained, sustained only by my obligation to you and by my guardianship of the blade.
And the other 9? Why did their guardianship not sustain them?
I don't know. As our race dwindled, the humans prospered. I have watched over the centuries as our history faded into myth and finally receded altogether. The humans have forgotten us entirely and claimed the pillars for themselves, wholly ignorant of their true purpose. To them, I am merely a devil, the origin of their vampire plague.
Why would the pillars summon human guardians then, if they are meant to be served by vampires?
The pillars choose their guardians from birth, Raziel, and vampires are no longer born. This is the crux of our dilemma, and this is the terrible irony. With their vampire purge, the members of the Circle have assaulted the very architects of the pillars they are sworn to protect. They have embarked on a treacherous path. With every vampire they kill, the humans are slitting their own throats. They know I'm up here, beyond their reach, and it terrifies them. You can see how they flaunt their kills to torment me, or perhaps simply to lure me out. They have this foolish notion that destroying me will somehow topple our entire bloodline. Thankfully, we're not that fragile.
I have seen them mustering their forces in the village below.
Yes. I don't know what they're plotting, but I fear our time may be bitterly short.
Mankind seems to have brought you only torment and grief. You must hate them.
They fear what they don't understand, and they despise what they fear. But no, I do not hate them.
Vorador does.
He has suffered much. He cannot forgive them.
Should they be forgiven?
They don't understand what they're doing. They are simply unenlightened and vulnerable to manipulation.
So, it's all true then, what Kain and Vorador have told me. I really am some kind of unholy vampire messiah.
Unholy? No. Messiah? Perhaps.
I don't like that word. It smells of martyrdom.
Raziel, your role in this world's destiny is more crucial and more benevolent than you've allowed yourself to believe. Your journey will not be easy. Dark powers are allied against you. But I think you already know this. You appear to have been cruelly tested. The binding must be secured, Raziel. The pillars are the lock.
And the Reaver is the key.
Yes.
The Reaver is here. Why do I feel nothing?
The most formidable weapon ever forged by our swordsmiths. They infused the blade with vampiric energy, empowering the Reaver to drain our enemies of their precious lifeblood.
As Janos presented the blade, an inexplicable sense of dread crept over me, more palpable than anything I'd felt before. I was at once horribly repelled by the sword, and yet irresistibly compelled to touch it, to take it up. Please, take it away from me.
I fear you have been followed.
You must save yourself, Raziel.
Janos! No!
So after all this, you make my case for me. To end this stalemate, you must die so that new guardians can be born.
The pillars don't belong to them, Raziel. They belong to us.
Your arrogance is boundless, Kain.
There's a third option. Monumental secret, hidden in your very presence here. But it's a secret you have to discover for yourself. Unearth your destiny, Raziel. It's all laid out for you here.
You said it yourself, Kain. There are only two sides to your coin.
Apparently, sir. But suppose you throw a coin enough times. Suppose one day it lands on its edge.
Your fatalism is tiresome, Kain.
And profoundly ingrained, Raziel.
You must understand our presence here doesn't alter history. You and I meet here because we are compelled to. We have always met here. History is irredeemable. Drop a stone into a rushing river, the current simply courses around it and flows on as if the obstruction were never there. You and I are pebbles, Raziel, and have even less hope of disrupting the time stream. The continuum of history is simply too strong, too resilient. Except, then how do we explain William here? The beloved boy king turned tyrant. In my youth, I witnessed William's rise to power and his transformation into the nemesis who laid waste to Nosgoth. Years later, I stumbled upon a chance to journey back in history, unaware that the entire affair has been carefully orchestrated by Mobius. In my wisdom, I seize this opportunity to murder the young king before he can ravage Nosgoth, and thereby provide the catalyst Mobius needs to ignite a genocidal war against our race. This one reckless act unravels the skein of history. The nemesis never becomes the nemesis. William dies a martyred saint. I, the vampire assassin, become the author of my own species' extinction, and Mobius profits from all of it. I destroyed a tyrant only to create one far worse. But how can it be so? How? If history is immutable. The answer is here in this room, Raziel. Mobius propelled William and me together, but ensured first that we were both armed with the soul Reaver. The Reaver is the key. Two incarnations of the blade meet in time and space. A paradox is created, a temporal distortion powerful enough to derail history. If you truly believe in free will, Raziel, now is the time to prove it. Kill me now, and we both become pawns of history, dragged down the path of an artificial destiny. I was ordained to assume the role of balance guardian in Nosgoth, while you were destined to be its savior. But the map of my fate was redrawn by Mobius, and so in turn was yours.
Oh no. Every time you turn up, something monumental and terrible happens. I don't think I have the stomach for it.
No drama this time, Raziel.
You are persistent, crossing time like this to follow me. Still waiting for that coin of yours to land on its edge.
I'm biding my time. I see that Mobius has played a little trick on you.
Yes. He clearly doesn't want me to meet this Janos Audrin.
Perhaps. Or maybe he merely hoped that it would harden your heart against me, to see this wasteland which I single-handedly authored.
My heart doesn't need hardening, Kain. If I even suspected that destroying you would make any difference, I would do it this instant.
I knew you'd see through them, Raziel. Janos is indeed the key to your destiny, but you'll need to find your own way back into Nosgoth's past. Make no mistake, though, Raziel. You and I are now in great danger. We are irritants here. Malevolent forces are being marshaled to eliminate us.
You talk as though we're allies.
Regardless of your sentiments, Raziel, in their eyes, we are.
Well, they're certainly trying to eliminate you, Kain. There can be no doubt of that. I am assaulted relentlessly with demands for your demise. Whatever it is that you're plotting, they're scared to death of you. As for me, I suspect they made a grave error when they allowed my unique resurrection. I don't think they know how to destroy me.
You mustn't underestimate them, Raziel.
And who exactly is this diabolic they to which we keep referring? If there's some grand conspiracy going on, the right hand doesn't appear to know what the left is doing. Even Mobius seems to be caught out at every turn.
Mobius is a puppet, Raziel. Haven't you realized that yet? That's the sweetest irony in all of this. Nosgoth's great manipulator is their plaything. But the ones pulling the strings haven't shown their faces yet.
They don't like us unwriting their carefully choreographed history, though, do they?
You must understand, Raziel, we haven't unwritten history, we've merely rewritten it. The future flows around our petty actions, finding the path of least resistance, while admitting only the slightest alterations. This is the reshuffling you felt when you refused to kill me. And remember, Raziel, we are irritants in this regard as well. History will not allow the introduction of a paradox.
And if events cannot be reshuffled to accommodate the change?
It is the irritant who's expelled. Bear in mind that this may be exactly the outcome our enemies are trying to provoke. We must tread very carefully.
And who has slandered me so?
Your malefactor, Kain? The one who betrayed and destroyed you, our common enemy? Consider the source before you judge me too harshly. We'll forget about rekindling our old friendship then, but consider an alliance based on our common ground. We both want Kain dead. I can help you do it. You may never again be human, Raziel, but you can re-embrace the essence of your humanity and the nobility of your Sarafan heritage. Go to him, Raziel, and end this. But first, you will need to find your way out of the stronghold, and in this, I'm afraid I cannot help you. My soldiers will not understand your appearance here. They will try to kill you. You needn't fear them, of course. They're no match for you. Try to keep the casualties to a minimum, but do what you have to do. By my soul, you almost had me, my little blue assassin. But that'll be the one and only chance you get. I assure you of that.
So, Raziel, here we are, finally. You have no choice but to confront me now, and I am not so foolish as I've let you believe. We have business to conclude.
You knew I would lead the Sarafan to Janos, you vile bastard. You've been orchestrating my every move. My destiny is an amusement to you.
It was fun while it lasted. I think not, Raziel. Malek, do not let this creature leave. He poses a danger to the circle. Poor, deluded Raziel. Did you somehow imagine you had the guile to change history on me? I'm the time streamer. I knew your every intention before you did, you imbecile.
Ah, yes. I like that look on your face, Mobius. You really don't know what to do now, do you, old man? Here you are, caught without your damned staff, and I suspect things aren't progressing quite as you'd hoped. You're not used to the fly turning to confront you in your web, are you?
Kain's devious influence has poisoned your mind, Raziel. Now you see betrayal everywhere, even in your closest allies.
We were never allies, Mobius. Conspirators, perhaps. Briefly.
Why did you not kill Kain when you had the chance? He was at your mercy.
Precisely. I had a choice, and I chose mercy. And now I know your sordid little secret, the significance of that displacement I felt when the two Reavers came together. Strangely enough, I was enlightened by the devious Kain, not by you. In fact, I've learned much more than you counted on. I understand now how you've tried to manipulate all of history for your own personal gain. But now all your little schemes are whirling in ruin around you, aren't they? All because I chose to exert my will for once, rather than obey the demands of sorcerers and spirits and demons, all singing the same tiresome refrain, "Kill Kain." I'm setting my own path from here, Mobius. I intend to discover the truth behind all of this.
But you condemn us all with this impetuous act.
Hardly impetuous. It took all the will I could muster. Has my refusal to kill Kain reshuffled your carefully stacked deck of cards?
You really think that you're exercising your free will, Raziel? You're simply Kain's servant.
I do not serve Kain. I merely did not kill him.
Raziel, do not forget your purpose here. You are destined to be the savior of Nosgoth.
Oh, I'm sick of hearing that particular phrase. As for saving Nosgoth, so far I see precious little reason to bother. And I'll choose my own purpose from here on out, time streamer. Right now, I choose to manipulate you for a change. Go. In there.
What are you doing?
Come now, Mobius. You're a cunning serpent. You'll piece it together, I imagine. This error is of no further use to me. You will operate this device to provide me passage. I want to see the world in a simpler time, before the Sarafan began their crusade.
And what about Kain? You're leaving your quarry behind.
You kill him if it's so damned important.
You need only touch the two poles of the switch, and the device will transport you. But I urge you to reconsider.
You've lost your powers of persuasion, old man. Rot here and forget me.
Raziel's back and Mobius has got him. Tonight.
And now it's the Raziel and Mobius show.
Vorador. I see my reputation precedes me.
It does.
All good, I hope. I've been watching you since you emerged from that accursed stronghold. Strange that your arrival coincides with the corruption of the Pillars. But I'm wondering, are you the catalyst of these events? Or are you the answer to them? I distrust your origins, stranger. Seeing you crawl from the putrid depths of Mobius's keep makes me question your purpose here. And what should I make of your appearance? Not human, clearly, and more demon than vampire. And the Pillars. It is no mere coincidence that your arrival in that clearing heralded the Pillars' decay. And so I ask you plainly, are you the instrument of the Pillars' destruction, or their salvation? Very well. Let us look at the other side of the coin. I have followed your journey and watched as you blithely unlocked secrets that have been sealed and forbidden for thousands of years. The path you have been treading is open to only one being. You don't know what you are, do you? What's the point? This world is beyond redemption. Let the human cattle have it. Fairy tales, boy. The delusions of an ancient culture clinging to hope long after the world had discarded them. Their bloodline trickled away, until only one of the ancients remained, sustained solely by obligation and his unfaltering faith in the old prophecies. But even if you are who you appear to be, it no longer matters. You're simply too late. I'm afraid, my friend, that you and all of us are out of luck.